Are you wondering why your dyslexic child still can't read at grade level despite the time and money you have spent? It could be they have undiagnosed auditory processing disorder. According to the NIH, 43% of children referred for testing have auditory processing disorder and 25% have coexisting auditory processing disorder and dyslexia. APD is a condition where the brain has difficulty processing sounds, even though hearing is normal. So children with APD have difficulty distinguishing between similar sounds like pat and cat and bat and sat and dad and bad. Children with a combination of APD and dyslexia can be very challenging to teach because they're not seeing what they're supposed to be seeing and they're not hearing what they're supposed to be hearing. I'm going to teach you some methodologies you can use to teach your child how to read if they have auditory processing disorder and dyslexia. You're going to learn how to use touch, exaggeration, tracing, and modeling to teach your child how to learn to read. You're going to meet some of the children whose parents have used my program. First, you're going to see how my system taught these parents to use exaggeration to make sure the child hears the correct sound, as well as touch to make sure they're looking at the right part of the word at the right time. Right out of the gate, you can see this is different. Christopher is telling me the sound. With dyslexic, APD, and ADHD kids, you don't want to talk at them a lot. You want them back at you. You want them making the sound. His parents have used my program, and he has jumped 3 grade levels. And right now we're working on CE, which goes, so he's exaggerating it. He's hearing the exaggeration, and that is overcoming the APD. He's giving the sound back to me, which means he's participating, which means he's not passive. You can have the best phonics program or reading program in the world, but if you stick it in front of a dyslexic APD kid and they're just supposed to look at it and you talk at them, it doesn't work. They need to be going. They need to be moving. They need to be touching. Let's keep going.
Like Excel, cylinder.
Cellular. So touch
Cellular. Cellular.
And remember to overdo the CE sound. Excel, cellular. Here you go, buddy.
Census.
You see in my correction, right? My correction wasn't, hey, Chris, that's cellar, right? I didn't say, Christopher, that's cellar. I didn't talk in a normal voice. I said cellar.
Cellular.
And I'm overdoing those sounds. Cellular. And then he gives it back. Cellular. And he's touching cellular.
Cellular.
And it's exaggerated and enunciated. I tell parents, when you work with your child with my program, if someone walks by the room and thinks maybe you've lost it because you're talking in such an exaggerated manner, that means you're doing it correctly. So I'm not correcting in a normal voice and with normal enunciation. I'm overdoing the sounds so that he hears the sounds despite his APD. You can hear him wanting to say cylinder. And cylinder and cellar sound the same to him, and they sound to me. Cylinder, cellar, it's got that heavy ending. So I'm telling his brain, no, this isn't cylinder. And I'm making sure, because he could still hear cylinder if I say cellar. That's kind of what APD does. So I'm really making sure that he hears cellar, his fingers under cellar. That's reading. Now we're going to look at how my program teaches parents. And by the way, there's a link to my program in descriptions below. Please go check it out. Now we're going to learn how my program teaches parents to use tracing to overcome the challenges that dyslexia and auditory processing disorder present when learning how to decode words. The child is actually tracing as he's reading the word. What does this do? This tracing is so powerful because it ensures that the C is a C, right? It ensures that each letter is what it is, because if your child has visual perceptual challenges, which often come within this dyslexia, that they're not actually seeing the parts of the word. So that tracing ensures they're seeing and processing each letter. Now, at the same time, the child is exaggerating the sounds that are being made. And you can see how this is so effective when you're teaching a child that has dyslexia and auditory processing disorder. Now, this child was having a problem with CL, and a lot of children have a problem with these, CL, PL, and because they sound the same. Now, they don't sound the same to you, but they sound the same to me. But I have dyslexia and auditory processing disorder. So when he gets to that CL, you can see we're having to make that claw. Right? We're making sure claw. So he's making those letters do the things they're supposed to do. By having him trace the letters and exaggerate the sounds, we're minimizing the impact that dyslexia and auditory processing disorder can have on the process. This is an amazing way to fix sounds that for some of you, you're already thinking of things like, why is TH always just T? And those your child's had things wrong for years. If you use this technique, you will be able to straighten them out rapidly. Let's look at another one. The child said der when the word is deer, but that's your classic dyslexic / APD kind of mistake, because the double E, right, the long vowel looks odd. The E with the E looks odd. And then they sound the same. So the child said der, mom corrected with deer, and the child said der again because her deer didn't sound much different from his der. Then I had the mom overdo that long E sound. I had the child overdo it, and then we got it right. He's not happy, but he got it right.
There.
Next word.
Yeah.
Next word.
Okay.
You're putting effort in, but if you just tweak what you're doing, you make so much more progress. He's touching the E with E. He's making the E sound. He's exaggerated. He's looking at it. He's hearing his own exaggeration. Deer will be deer, and the E with the E sound will become what it's supposed to be. The last strategy I want to share with you, I call modeling. That's when you show them with your face the sound. And I do this with stories sometimes. I had a client, and I was on Zoom with the little boy and the dad, and the word was pit, and the child kept saying hit. So the dad corrected, hey, it's pit, and the child goes, I know, hit. And I know I'm working with an APD kid right off the bat. This is one of the first sessions, but Dad doesn't even know. So Dad just keeps saying the same thing. The child says the same thing. The child starts crying. I'm like, look, Dad, turn his face to you, show him. And just so you know why they do these kinds of things, like pit and hit sound the same to an APD kid, and they actually kind of look the same, right? Because that IT dominates that word, and then a P and an H, if you invert it, they've got that straight line, they look the same, and you're like, Keith, P and H don't look the same. They do to me. So I said, Dad, have them look at you and go, pit. Let them see the P. Pit. Sometimes you simply have to have them look at you. The word is flag, and you show them the FL, look, then you get them to do it, because then you notice in my videos, there's always back and forth. You're never talking at the kid that long. So model the sound for them. Let them see the shape of the sound in your face. If your child is still struggling with the long and short vowels, please check out this video. You'll even be able to print out a free word list. Please hit the like button. It helps me with the algorithm. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comment section. Of course, please subscribe with notifications so you don't miss a video. And please check out my site. There's a link to it below.